Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another opening week matchup in Reddit League Season 5. We are in Division 2 today, Calamity. We've got a newcomer versus an old dog in MaxFI versus the new Snorlax in Division 2. Snorlax got through the preseason. Is that correct?
Yes, he got in for the preseason. I think he came second, if I'm not mistaken. I just noted as well. That's why I was giggling a bit. How the English expression that you used being an old dog, because the German expression for it is basically the equivalent to an old rabbit. So I don't know, just thought that was a bit interesting. But yeah, Max been here for a while. He got promoted the season before last into Division 2. And last season started out pretty rough, but came back with some very strong performances towards the latter end of the season. And finished in fifth, I think. Pretty close, actually, towards the promotion playoff spots. And just missed out on that. But if he can get a decent start this season, he might be fighting for those this time around.
And definitely, we'll be looking forward to see what Snorlax can do in Division 2. No real stats to give you this time because it is the first week, so it's all blank slate, so we can just kind of start from here. The map, we are in Poland, of course, by Killing Fire. Lots of locations, so no repeats to really worry about here. Average score about 15,000, but I'm sure after Reddit League plays it, that number always goes up. But yeah, pretty well mapped. We've seen it a couple times already. Calamity just kind of really depends on if you're in a town. Often is more difficult because if you're on a road, you get nice signs that point you in the right direction. But kind of getting lost in a small town can actually be a little bit worse.
Partially, there's usually if you're in a mid-sized town, that's what you really want. Because if you're in a mid-sized town, then you do get stuff like area codes and postcodes. And at the same time, it's still not too difficult to find like the street you're on a map. Whereas if you're in some of those super rural, small villages, you oftentimes don't even get an area code because like there's no advertisements or anything on the fences and stuff like that or on signposts. And if you're in too big of a city, you might struggle to pinpoint in it. So the mid-sized towns is what, or cities is what you're looking for.
Of course, always along a road with a nice marker and point of interest to help you pinpoint is always nice as well. Yeah, anything to kind of expect from these two here? We could definitely see a draw at the higher end. I'm sure both of them can handle Poland pretty well, but any idea who might come out on top?
It's a difficult one to call. Snorlax from preseason, he's looked pretty strong in most maps. I think he had a bit of a weaker Japan, which led to him not being, really in the contention for the Division 1 spot that was open. But other than that, he looked very strong there. And Max, as I said, if he can keep his form from last season going forward, he's also a very strong player. So you are looking at probably a very high scoring game, and if the seed isn't too difficult or too rural with locations where you might just go 3.5 minutes without really finding anything, if you're unlucky, for example, and go the wrong way, then I do expect that we'll probably see a draw unless there's like 5 highway locations that are difficult to pinpoint and you somehow end up losing like 120 points.
Okay, well, let's jump in then into round number 1 and see what they can do.
That's pretty much what I said when I meant mid-sized city. It
There
looks a
we
bit
go.
on the smaller end, but still a decent road, and you can be sure you'll find some signs in this city.
Not too bad. Now, Max can get out of a dead end there. Help out a bit.
There's some signs for Snorlax.
Yeah, I can't quite read. I think it did have a phone number on it, but I didn't.
Yeah, the one that
read it.
the one that I spotted was a 3-digit one, which are mobile phones. So you can't use those, but that one might have.
Yes. No.
It's always difficult if you're looking at the same sign as a player and the player like gathers the information up really quickly because you don't necessarily know where the player started looking. So you kind of look at it the same way and you might miss some information.
Yeah.
But there's another sign for him coming up, and this one looks like it might actually have a bit more.
Uh,
On the right, yeah, Kreuz.
and I also got some of a information for Max as well. It looked like he saw looked like a map of some kind, and he kind of jumped to a place on the map but didn't pinpoint too closely. He does have some city names now, and there we go. I think he did find a town name, perhaps.
Yeah, Snorlax in the meantime going through looking at all of the road names he's found in the meantime,
And that's it. And
yep.
good old American, I guess. I don't know why he's using yards, but
He's from the UK initially and now living in the Faroe Islands, I think. And UK for some reason are strange and use yards. I don't know.
Yeah, they do. They still use the imperial system. It looks like, yeah, Max has got the town, but now he's back to the pinpointing and a few seconds behind his opponent. But a quick spin and look at the nice flowers will confirm he is in the right place. Just a bit north of that building, 2 meters for him. So a very nice spot and an ace to start us off for both of them for this one, Calamity.
Yeah, but you kind of expected an ace there for both of them. Not the most difficult location. Max took a little bit longer to find the city name, but after that, no real problems for both of them. Both still with plenty of time left to go if they had gone in the wrong direction for a bit longer.
Well, let's head into round number 2 and see what we can get. Another one of those mid-sized towns.
Certainly looks like it, yes.
It's looking like a pretty nice first 2 rounds. And there's a map that Max just goes right past, but probably a bit too small to be helpful at this point.
Yeah, I think it was a map of the sort of industrial, or well, at least the area that you were in there. And it looks like he was, or well, they both were on the outer edges of a city, because Max is currently going into the middle of nowhere, it seems.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be leaving town, although there are quite a few people walking on the road. He will head back to the start and try to figure out a better way to go to get some signs. He'll go the other way. They're using different compasses as well, which is going to keep my brain going crazy to remember which way they're going.
Yeah, and
Snorlax
there's
heading
Snorlax.
north.
Yeah.
Max now going south.
Snorlax just had Oystein on a sign there as part of the web address, and Oystein is a relatively big city in the north, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there it is. Max just went right past that house initially, but
Olisla. There's another local map with a couple names and a body of water, but not too familiar with it yet. He's still got 2 minutes to go. 7 yards from Snorlax will be good enough for the 5K, but probably just so. I have all my numbers memorized in meters, and then he goes to use yards.
Yeah, it's 25. I think 7 yards must be about like 11 meters. Is it?
Something
Wait, let me convert.
Like 8 or I think not more like 9 meters.
Oh, it's actually the other way around. 7 yards is 6.4 meters.
Okay, so the yard is a little bit longer. There we go. Oh,
Yes,
there is the town for
Yep.
Max. So that'll help him confirm. He headed out of town and saw that body of water, so really good initial placement. And now backtracking into the neighborhood he is, and we are in a bit of a suburb to the northwest of the town.
Mm-hmm.
And still has a whole minute to go, so not to be worried quite yet. There are some road names around here that he can use if he can find them again.
Yeah, probably going west there is the better idea. Going to the main road again.
There is the Rast. What is this? Like a kind of store, is it? He's blocking it. I can't really tell. And then he looks at the road. Never mind. Well, some kind of market. Doesn't seem to appear on the map, though, as a point of interest. At least not by that name.
Not where he is.
Yeah, not where he is, at least. Got only 18 seconds. He's got to figure this out. His opponent's already got the ace. It's going to be a few points. I don't think he'll drop too much if he doesn't pinpoint this one, but he is running very low on time. There is one town. Yeah, and he is like a kind of a block or a neighborhood south of where he needed to be, but only 45 points drop, so he is still in that draw range, Calamity. But then, as you can see there, the road is pretty much parallel and follows the same directionality, which kind of confused him a bit in his pinpointing.
Yeah, just couldn't get close enough in the end. I assume he kind of forgot that part of the road where he traveled southwest to get to the body of water, and that's why he, too close to that and not quite looking where the right location would have been.
Well, that's a bit unfortunate, but he is still in draw range, so there's nothing to worry about quite that much yet, as we will jump into round number 3 and another body of water. Might as well be playing Lakes of the World from last season.
Yeah, but nice and easy at the start. You spawn on a bridge. That's always going to make it
nice.
make your job a bit easier.
Now, road names right there. An area code of 46 for Snorlax.
Yeah, as well as the city name on that. I'm pretty sure not on that now, but yeah, Skierniewice. Now it just needs to find it, and there it is already on the screen, but there you go.
Southwest of Warsaw.
And there's the bridge.
And there's the bridge. That stands out quite nicely. A very nice, easy one from him. 3 yards away, though. Didn't bother to even put his pin on the bridge, but I guess you don't have to worry about that too much. There's a town name for Max. I don't know if he recognized it.
He must have recognized it is a town name, but
yeah, he might not know
necessarily what to do with it.
Yeah, which does appear so.
Yeah, considering Snorlax pinpointing, he plays a lot of like Battle Royale and duels and stuff like that, and otherwise like a lot of no moving stuff. So I think he's just not quite accustomed with his playstyle yet to actually, take your time and make sure that you're in the right spot. But he'll get used to it. Well, he'll have to.
And finally, some road numbers for Max, which will help him out. The 70 and the 705. And then I'll put him in the town, and he needs to remember when he starts on the bridge. Oh, yeah. There we go. And towards the more south end of that bridge. There we go. And an ace for him as well. So still only 45 points separating them, but I think we talked about at the beginning, but they have gotten 3 medium-sized towns in a row. That's pretty nice to them. So I don't know. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about it though. Just pretty straightforward round here, Calamity.
Yeah, you can kind of see that both of them have at least somewhat. Not sure how intensively Max has done it, but they're familiar with towns, familiar with area codes and stuff like that. So a location like that shouldn't prove too difficult for either of them.
And we will jump into round number 4 then. And another, at least decently sized suburb. There is a town highway entrance, actually. There is a village name there for Snorlax. And
Mitska.
Yeah, the A4 to Katowice and the 94 to Bytom. So this is the one that actually Max seems a little bit quicker to get to, but in the end they find it almost the exact same time. Now it's backtracking, try to find this entrance. I think Snorlax is really just working off of that fact that that town is in a certain direction from that intersection, and
yeah, and he saw the shop, the shopping center that was opposite of him. But what was I just talking about? Yeah. Too quick on the trigger there.
Needs to be a little bit careful to pinpoint. That finally comes back to bite him in the butt. Drops 2 points. And Max still has, 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes to play with.
Yep.
Definitely could gain 2 more points back on him.
This is a location I later on asked Snorlax about how he because I think like this is just like not what my playstyle is. So sometimes I'm like, why would you do that? Where he just found like a small, like assigned to a small town, and I mean you can make reasonable assumptions. It looks like a major highway. It does kind of look like, especially that shopping center, looks like something you'd find outside of a major town or major city, like Krakow, like Warsaw, etc. But he said to me afterwards that there is actually a shopping mall in that small town that the sign was pointing to that has indoor like tracker coverage, official Google coverage. And he said that he recognized that town name from there, and that's why he knew it was near some big city in Poland. He couldn't quite remember which one it was, but that's why he immediately went to checking those.
So a famous location that's notorious.
Well, I wouldn't call it famous, but
well known. And yeah, there we go. 2 points back, 1 meter away. Max spending that extra time to make sure he is in the right spot. Even outdoes Boxa in distance on this one in Division 2. So yeah, not bad. Still now 43 points separating them going into the final round. And could we get a 5 for 5 here in outskirts, suburbs, or kind of small town, medium-sized towns?
It might well be possible.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah, I would like at least one round that would kind of be somewhat of a challenge to these guys. And we'll see if round 5 can do it, and maybe not.
No, more medium-sized cities.
Yeah, it looks... there's lots of billboards and some advertisements right there. And there is some addresses.
Gora.
Yeah.
That's right there.
Right away, Max is on it. I think Snorlax went the other direction.
Might have done.
It seems like he has either that or he just zipped past all of this stuff. Oh, no, now he's coming on it.
Yeah, he's moving a bit more slowly than Max. Max is always a very, very fast guy.
Yeah. There's a town name right there for him as well. Polish addresses are pretty nice, and Max has already pretty much got this one down. Still 2.5 minutes to go, and he is giving the speedrunner a bit of go for his money on the final round. It looks like we will end up in a draw for the first week in Division 2 for these two, and unfortunately for both of them, it won't be a perfect game draw, which means they'll have to hope for a bonus point if they want to pick up a second point on the table here. But given how easy this seed is, even dropping 50 points might not be enough for a bonus point. An ace for both of them in the final round. Nothing to really challenge them at all in Division 2 in the first week, Calamity.
Yeah, Snorlax cutting it a bit close again with the distance there with 21 yards, just about close enough for a perfect last round. But
he's not going to show me his total score.
Well, he dropped 2 points in one of the rounds before, so it's 24,998. But yeah, relatively easy seed for Division 2, especially if you've practiced a bit of area codes and cities, know where they are. And you said it not guaranteed that you'd get a bonus point with Max's score, but he was actually just about close enough because he did finish. Well, 2 people essentially finished with 24,955 points, both him and Guelo. Wow. And they finished in 6th and 7th, just at the cutoff point between the bonus point. But Max was faster, so Max does get the bonus point. And Guelo won his game anyway, so in that sense, it doesn't matter for him. So just good for Max to just be ahead of him and get that second point.
Very nice. A draw to start off, and they will be looking to hopefully get a win in their second match in Jordan next week. We do have a couple matchups from week 1, of season 5 already up on the old YouTube. So if you want to see how Division 1, I think we have a Division 4 matchup as well. See how those seeds played out. You can head over and check out those videos. And we will see you all next week in Jordan. Take care.